Hello everybody, welcome to the Yoso Tech Tracks YouTube channel. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about a new Pioneer head unit I purchased. This is going to go into a 2011 Jeep Wrangler, and the story behind this is the vehicle is just turned 10 years old, and as soon as this vehicle was purchased, it was bought brand new. I swapped out the original head unit, which was nothing but a standard Uconnect, I believe, audio system, to this Clarion NZ500 single DIN motorized head unit. At the time, this thing was super expensive. It can do anything you want it to do. It's a motorized faceplate, 7-inch touchscreen, remote control, steering wheel control compatible, 6-channel outputs for subwoofers, camera, backup camera inputs, you name it, anything you want it to do, this thing can do it. Satellite radio input, the whole 9 yards. This head unit was originally in the vehicle for a couple of years, and unfortunately it died one day. Because I spent so much money on it and I really like this head unit, it's actually my favorite one I ever had in all my vehicles. Took it out, had it repaired, sent off to a authorized Clarion repair facility. I forget how much it was, just $100 or so, and they did bring it back to life with a very short warranty. It lasted a little bit after that, and then again it started acting funny. Unfortunately, it never worked properly again, and I thought I'm going to read up on it and get a lot of information as much as I can, what is exactly wrong with it, how to repair it, if it's worth it. And everywhere I wrote, everywhere I texted people, emailed people, called companies, they all suggested once these head units start to show signs of wear and tear and fatigue, it is time to let them go. One of the major issues with these head units is it is very cramped. You cannot see it on camera, but this does have a significant weight. It is very heavy, and one of the problems with this type of head unit is the heat dissipation is not that great inside. You can see there's a fan on one side, there's a little fan in the back, but what happens to these head units, they run hot, and when they do, as you may or may not know, electronics don't like heat, and it's basically a slow death. It's a shame to throw this away, but unfortunately it is not worth the money to repair these. From my experience, even with head units prior to this, once they start showing signs of acting funny, it's time to look for something else. The next, I went to a double DIN Clarion, which is this on the right. You see it's an NX501. One of the reasons I went back to Clarion, I really got used to this single DIN 7-inch touchscreen navigation head unit, and I was very used to the functions, the controls. Basically, it was very easy to navigate, and I liked it so much, I said, what the heck, let's get another Clarion. I found a good deal on the double DIN Clarion NX501, and have been using that after the single DIN died for a couple of years. And about a week ago, it is January 2021 right now, almost February, and unfortunately the Clarion double DIN is showing the same problems. The screen is unresponsive half the time. Other times it's got a white screen, so no touch screen, and you can't really basically get past. As soon as it turns on, it's basically a dead head unit. So out with the Clarions and in with the Pioneer single DIN head unit. I got a really good deal on. This is off Amazon. It is rated very well. Hopefully this one lasts a long time. It has 3 sets of pre-outs for driving a subwoofer and a 4-channel amplifier, which is what I'm going to be using. This vehicle will get 2 amplifiers, one for the subwoofer and a 4-channel for the rest of the speakers. It has satellite radio input, which I will not be requiring, steering wheel controls. This does have Bluetooth capability, just like many head units do. It is fully compatible with modern Android and iPhones, so those controls are very easy to integrate. Nowadays you can get apps for these radios to connect to your smartphone, which is pretty much a must because smartphones are in everybody's hands, and to be able to integrate that easily into the vehicle is a very important thing, because you get used to your smartphone and you want it to be as smooth as possible when you're in the vehicle. Basically, the next setup as far as the in-vehicle audio and navigation is going to go will be based off of a full-size iPad, which will be used for the input and as for the navigation, because this one does not have navigation capability, but it is just going to be used as a signal processor to drive the amplifiers and to go from there. So I wanted to show you how you cannot feel it, but this is a very, very light, small, compact head unit. It is a single DIN, which fits into pretty much any vehicle with an adapter plate, such as this one. This is an original one I was using for my Clarion single DIN head unit. So that one comes out, and this one will go in, just like so. And this is really flush mounted inside this adapter plate. If you can see on camera, nothing protrudes past the surface of the plastic, and this is all flush mounted with the radio cover. One more thing that I believe is going to make this a whole bunch easier in a 2011 Wrangler is because I do have steering wheel controls from the factory, and I do have an aftermarket steering wheel control module that plugs into the back, and there's a whole bunch of wires when you put this radio inside your dashboard. This head unit is about half the depth of this Clarion single DIN, if everybody can see from here. So that will make sure that I have no more problems with bunched up wires or having to worry about all this mess to push to the side, or maybe you crunch the harness. This has basically twice the free space in the back, so it should be a very, very easy install. Again, I went with this head unit because I got a really good deal on it, and hopefully it's going to last hopefully longer than the Clarions I've had experience with. One thing that I'm going to be doing differently for the install compared to the old Clarions is both of these Clarions, the way they were wired up, the 4 speakers were powered from the head units themselves. However, I just purchased another amplifier for the speakers, and there's one additional amplifier that's going to be driving the subwoofer. So I'm going to be using all 3 sets of pre-outs, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 4-channel amplifier, and the 2 of them are going to be for the subwoofer amplifier. So the built-in amplifier that drives the speakers through this harness will not be connected, because the speakers will get powered by the amplifiers. That means hopefully this head unit will not run very hot, because it will just be a signal processor to give the signals to the amplifiers, and they will take the load. So I just wanted to show you all this head unit. It is a modern head unit. This was manufactured in 2020 October, so it is brand new, and hopefully it will last the life of the vehicle, which is hopefully getting another 10 years out of it. I always plan to keep vehicles for a very long time, so hopefully this will be the last head unit. I have to remove the dashboard, put everything in, and put everything back together. It does have a microphone for placement anywhere near the driver. I believe this is a 10-foot cord just for Bluetooth calls and such. And I will be doing this install very quickly, very shortly, because time is of the essence, and I have a lot of other things happening, and I'm just waiting for the weather to turn a little bit nice, because as with all modern vehicles, the Jeep is made of mostly plastic for the dashboard material, and every time you take apart these plastics, most of the time you're breaking clips, you're stretching the plastic, you're basically removing something that's not really want to be removed. So I'm going to wait a little bit for warmer weather, and as soon as I can, I'm going to get on top of this, and I'll even take a video about how to take apart the dashboard, how to do basic wiring, and hopefully some people can learn from this. And it's something that's, if you have a base model head unit or you want to upgrade to anything, it's all the same install. Basically, you need a mounting kit that adapts to your vehicle. You need a head unit. It doesn't matter whatever you go with, Clarion, Pioneer, singled in, doubled in, it makes no difference. It's all the same. And a couple of wires have to be soldered or crimped, whichever prefer method for the installer. And the rest of it is a simple plug and play. The Jeep actually does have a module that interfaces with the head unit because it is communicating with body control modules, and I will show you a little bit of information on that as soon as I get to it. And the steering wheel control is an aftermarket module because the Jeep had an optional steering wheel control for all the audio controls and navigation controls and volume controls and so on and so forth. But that one has to have an aftermarket interface to be able to connect to these Pioneer or Clarion or Alpine or whatever head unit you're using, to be able to retain all those functions, which I've gotten used to pretty much, and I really like that feature, and hopefully it'll be smooth, because as far as I can remember, it is a universal steering wheel control adapter, which should work with the Clarions and the Pioneers alike. So let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Any more information you guys need about this Pioneer head unit, I will give a link in the description for anybody to check out. It's supposedly a really good head unit. It is priced competitively, and it can do all the modern, basically, functions that anybody needs in a vehicle. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.